Hello, hello, hello. We are live from Virginia, USA to talk about two very important ladies. They're not with us anymore, but the purpose of this is to show that I think for me, the main reason I chose to talk about this and these two ladies together, they are both from different worlds. You may wonder why I'm even talking about them together in the same conversation, and I'll soon explain. Because I wanted, by the way, my name is Sherifa Nakalema, especially those who watch it this later. This was a live, and I was inspired to do this because I wanted to show that actually you don't have to be coming from a rich family. You don't have to be coming from, what should I say? The kind of family you come with or from shouldn't determine what you do in your life. Whether you have money, whether you don't have money, whether you come from Africa or you come from USA, you can still be an impactful person. You can still live a purposeful life. So we are talking about two ladies. The first one is none other than the late Rosalynn Carter. She was the first lady of the United States of America, being a wife to President Jimmy Carter. President Jimmy Carter is still alive, but her wife died recently. And then as we are mourning, in fact, the funeral for for Rosalynn Carter was on, I think it was 29th of November, right? So when she died, around the same time, she had died earlier, but the funeral was going on, then you had a sudden death in the family. And this is the death that came as a shock. Because the lady I'm about to talk about went to work, but then she didn't come home. She died at work. So that was a sudden death. And the lady I'm talking about is actually an in-law to me, but was almost like a mother to us too. Because my brother, my beloved brother, married a daughter, right? The daughter of this lady. But she was not just a mother-in-law, she was a friend to my brother. She was not just a mother to her daughter, she was a friend to her daughter. So these people, this death, as it was going on in Uganda, for me, I'm in America, right? So I got this call. I have not been the same for the past 3-4 days. Everything changed. Those of you who've been watching me, I don't even post on TikTok or anything. Everything stopped. So the whole family was paralyzed. As that was going on in Uganda, the funeral for Rosalynn Carter was going on in Washington, over here in America. So I was hearing what people were saying about Rosalynn Carter, and I was also listening to what people were talking about. Her name was actually Jane Semakula is her name, because married to Lawrence Semakula. As I was talking about Jane, I was listening what people are talking about here about Rosalynn. I said, this is like one person. People are talking about the same things. I said, I have to do a video about this. And the reason I'm doing this is to show that your life can actually impact others in ways you may not even understand, in ways you may not even know. So before I continue on, because we're going to talk about the two ladies, and I have many family members in the chat here, they'll help me with some information. But I wanted to say to you who is watching this, because most people watch for 2-3 minutes, they leave. I want this message to be for you, that you can impact a life no matter what. So I want to give you a few tips, what you could do to be also an impactful person, okay? Tip number 1, understand the needs of your community. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter whether you're old or young. Just today, as you watch this, think about what you could do to impact other people, okay? Number 1, understand the needs of your community. Number 2, volunteer your time. Volunteering your time may start, you look at your community, maybe if you go to church, you go to a Muslim, you go to a mosque or a school, those kind of communities, that's where it starts, right? Volunteer your time. Number 3, support You know, you may not think about this. Support local businesses. Instead of, for example, if you live in a bigger city, like you work in a bigger city, but you have shops locally where you live, instead of buying something from the city and bring it or come with it from work, wait, come buy from the local businesses to support them. Now, this for us, people who shop online a lot, you can say, instead of shopping online, even if I could save $5, no, let me buy right here. Because as you buy right here, you are helping the jobs in your community, you are helping the taxes in your community, and taxes impact the services you get. You are supporting those businesses so they don't close, because the more I shop online, these businesses are losing business, right? So that's the way we can all support our communities, by buying local. Number 4, join or start something. Join or start something that's already there. You can say, you know what, in this community I don't have people who do this or people who do that. You community, here in my community, I live in Virginia, USA. Someone started something about, just at our local masjid, I'm a Muslim, at the masjid, walking. They made this group of just walking on Saturdays. They all get together and walk. They walk through the woods and all that. You can start something as simple as that. As you are doing that, you are helping people's health. You're also connecting other people. You see, something, you can all do something. Number 5, I'm about to finish with the tips. Now, connect with the neighbors. Oh, connect with the neighbors, especially that one over here. People could live with a neighbor and they never said hello to them forever. It's starting in other countries too. Because in Africa, you used to know your neighbor and all that. Now, you could have a neighbor right here and never say good morning to them or anything. So connect to your neighbors. Number 7, educate. You know what we do online here? We educate. We share what you know. Share what you know with someone who doesn't know. Not ask for money, just share for free, okay? Number 8, that's where I'll stop. I have many, but I'll stop on this one. Advocate for positive change. Whatever is missing, figure out a way to change something in your community. So all these don't require money, actually. So anyone can do this. All the things, I'm not going to repeat them. So you can rewind the video later when it becomes a video. This will become a video. Once I stop the camera, it will become a video. So you can review the points I just gave you to make this short. Now, I'm going to talk about, I didn't say much about Mrs. Rosalynn Carter. Was 96 years when she died. You may wonder, you know, she worked so hard as an older woman. When you see the videos when she was doing these things that I'm about to mention, she was like very old, but very, very active. Okay, so that's a lesson too. And Mrs. Jane Naking Semakula was 71. Remember, I said when she died, she was at work. Although she was retired in the hospital, she was a nurse, she had gone to work. She was going there some days. So that also shows that it doesn't matter what age, as long as you're still breathing and you have some energy, you can still impact people. Now, I'm going to need some help from those in the chat who know Mrs. Semakula more than me, because actually I met her, you know, I've been in America for a long time. So I met her, you know, she helped take care of my mother. So she would, people said, you have to come meet her. You know, my brother married when I was here in America. So I never got to meet her. But when I went to Uganda later, I met her and she was taking care of our mother and being really nice. I went and visited her there at the hospital. I met her one time physically. So I'm going to need you, people in the chat, you're going to help me as I'm talking about her. You're going to help me, okay? You put what you know. Oh, welcome, Herbert. Welcome, Herbert, you made it? Okay, let's see. I have to welcome some people. Now I'm getting the chat. But the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to talk about Miss Rosalynn Carter because the one I know more about. I have notes about her. And then I'll be asking the people in the chat to tell me something similar about Miss Jane Semakula. So that's how we're going to do this. I'm going to throw out some points, like I say, what do you know about her? What did she do about this? You know, English in the second language. What did she do about this? Then you're going to be chatting. And as you chat, I'll be saying what you're chatting. I'll be picking out some points. Let me first welcome you. Welcome, Ara, welcome, Janet, Hannah. I'm so sorry, Janet. That's Janet's mother. For those of you who are in my community, the person I'm talking about is actually Janet. That was Janet's mother, or that is Janet's mother. And Janet, this is a compliment because I think you are like your mother. These things that we're talking about your mother, you already have the characteristics of your mother. So that's a clap for you because you're the special lady and you're a special lady too. Okay, let's see. Janet, welcome. Anastasia, is this the same Anastasia or is this the different one? Are you Anastasia, the one from my community, or this is the different one? Welcome, KK, welcome, Hannah, welcome. I saw some other people. Let me welcome some people first. Charles Anderson, welcome. Let's see. I'm looking for some new names. Salma, welcome. Sorry, your grandma. Sorry. We just pray for her. Welcome, Namga, Gertrude. Welcome. Herbert Kalbari, made it. Okay. This name, 10 cups of China and biscuits. Don't make me laugh at this time. Welcome, Sergio Cordova. Okay. If I didn't say welcome, I'll see your name as you chat. Then I'll call out your name. Let's start. Now, I'm comparing. I don't know if comparing is the right word. But remember, the reason I'm doing this is to encourage you to please leave a trail. You know a trail? When a long time ago, that song, I keep talking about it. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it. Like, let you leave something that will be remembered for. However small, let your name be said. After we put you in your grave, after you die, we want something to be said about you and also feel good about yourself. Okay? That's the whole purpose of this. So, we start with the history. And there is a lesson. You don't have to come from a rich family to do impactful things. So I'm going to talk about Rosalynn Carter. She was not born rich, actually. She grew up in Plains, Georgia. This is going to help some people with history. I did some research. It took me a while to research this. So she grew up in Plains, Georgia, a small town. She worked on a family farm. You know, when you hear people being first ladies in USA, you may think, oh, they came from a rich family or something. No, you hear her background. She worked on a family farm. In fact, her father got sick with leukemia. Some of these things she was saying them herself. I was listening to her saying these stories, how her father got leukemia at age 44, and how her mother, you know, those days I think women were not working as much outside the home, had to go get a job at the hospital, and she was around 13 at that time. And then she talked about the sadness of her dad being sick, and she said she had a place, like in the trees, like at home, I think they had a little place corner. She would go there just to cry because of the sadness. So you see, that was her childhood. And her dad, then she had a place to just cry. That was, you can imagine a young girl, humble beginnings, right? And if you hear the story, I'm not telling that story, but if you can find out how they connected with the president, I mean, at that time he was a young man, you'll be surprised. This was a love story starting from childhood. But anyway, that's what happened. So who knows something about 10 cups of China and biscuits? Yeah, that's a name. Okay, who can say something about our mother's childhood? Because remember, I wanted to say they are all coming from humble beginnings. Anyone? If you can share something, please share it. I'll read it up here. What do you know about Miss Rosalynn Carter's childhood? Did she grow up in similar circumstances? Who is commenting? If you're commenting, you have to comment really quickly. I'll give you some time to type it. What do you know about Miss Jenny's childhood, where she grew up? Yes, your mother's childhood, how was it? Was she also in the village? Because America, when you grow up on the farm, that's the equivalent of Africa in the village. By the way, I didn't mention, Miss Jen Semakula is it was in Uganda. Uganda, East Africa, that's my home country. Here in Virginia, USA. So we're talking about someone from Uganda, East Africa. If you don't know where Uganda is, East Africa. So Uganda, comparing to America, and how you see how it can all impact people's lives. Similar, actually. You'll see as we continue on. You'll see how these ladies affected, impacted people in similar ways. So did someone say she comes from an average background? Okay, but they were there like a farm also. We're there like plantation with like some kind of farming, the way we have. Okay, let's move on. She was a humble person. I'm talking about both were humble people. But I'm going to first give an example. For me, I give examples for Rosalynn Carter. You give examples for, in fact, as I'm reading how she was humble, you start typing how she was humble so that we finish this quickly, okay? On Miss Rosalynn Carter being a humble person. She was very approachable, even as the first lady. So you can copy what I'm saying. If you believe this one was also. She was engaged with people of all kinds of life, in all kinds of, because you could be a person who say, I don't deal, especially in America here, we have minorities, we have poor people, we have white people. She was approachable. Anyone, before she became a first lady, she was the first lady in Georgia. She was governor's wife. So before she became a president's wife. So it all started everywhere. She always approachable. She was always connected to her community. She was always personally involved. Because you see, as we go on, I talked about they had like Habitat for Humanity. There is some Habitat for Humanity here in USA, and they build homes. They build homes for the average person, the person who could not afford a home. There's a way they do it. I know a friend actually who benefited from that kind of home. They make sure the homes are affordable and they build them themselves. So, in America, homes are built by companies. The companies, and they sell homes, finished homes. But Habitat for Community, they build homes with their hands. So you could see Rosalynn Carter holding a hammer actually, as an old woman, like helping with the building. She was hands-on. So let's see. Family farm. She comes from an average background. Okay, you didn't put anything about being humble. How was she humble? I thought you were gonna be typing a lot of this. How was she humble dealing with people? Because I know for me, when I saw her, she was a gentle, kind soul. How was she humble? Do we have an example or we don't? Because I'm about to move on. Who has an example of her being humble? Please, you need to remember what we are doing here. We are creating a record. These things we are talking are going to be here for a long time. As long as my channel is here, the things we are communicating here will be there. Maybe even the grandchildren will come here and hear about their grandma. Okay, please? How was she humble? No one has an example? You don't have an example? Okay, I'm moving on. Maybe you'll come to that later. Yeah, she was a kind person. Okay. How about being, that's why I was waiting for the Kasuri people. They didn't appear. The husband, I was hoping to have a husband here, but they were dealing with they have, I think, a meeting. They're not here. Loving and committed wife. I leave this humble still pending. If you have some answers, you can say them. Yeah, of course she was humble. In fact, that's how her best personality. That's what I think she was. So very nice person. Okay, loving, committed wife. Do you have any examples? For Rosalynn Carter, she was married for over 70 years. In fact, that 70, I think some people are saying 77 years. Okay, anyway, they were married, I think they said, yeah, over 70 years. For Jordan, because remember, Rosalynn Carter died at 96, but Jenny Semakula died at 71. So, the other one was married, Rosalynn was married for 70 years. James Semakula was married for 51 years. Let me see what they're saying. She served all people, especially patients. Yeah. She was a nurse. Did I mention that? We are jumping around. She was a nurse. So in the chat, someone is saying she used to treat people who didn't have money. Yeah, that's beautiful. She served all people, especially patients of different classes. Yes. Humility 100%. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So remember, I'm getting the answers for Miss Jen Semakula from the chat. I'm only reading the ones for Rosalynn Carter. So this is what else she did. We're still on loving and being a loving and committed wife. According to the research I did, the husband and wife, if you knew them, by the way, they were always together. Mrs. Carter and Mr. Carter, President Carter, they were always together. So here they were saying she actively participated in campaigns, like when they were voting for him to be governor, when they were voting for him to be president. They lost the other one. They lost the second. You know, he didn't get the second term in America, President Carter. He got only one. So I watched somewhere when she was talking about losing that presidency, that they were not re-elected. And she said people were not even concentrating on her husband's achievements. And then she said, you know what? We'll create our own. That's one of the examples I have about failure. When you fail, don't stop. Because she was very disappointed when they lost the election for second term as president, the wife now. And you know what she said? We'll create our own Camp David. You know, there's a place called Camp David here in America where the presidents meet, like other presidents, where they go, like privately to talk to people and stuff. So they created their own Camp David. She created a place where she said, this is our own Camp David. After she got over the grief of losing the election, you move on. That's another lesson. Keep moving. Okay, that didn't work. You find another way to serve. In fact, their life is more impactful after the election, after they left the White House. Okay, let me see what they're saying. Yes, she was a loving, patient, and committed life. But who is this Anastasia? Do I have a new Anastasia? Anastasia, is that how you say it? I thought I had the other one, but I think this one is different. Let me see. She stood by her husband, who was championing many community projects. Yes. How about she used to support him 100%? Yeah, the same. In fact, we have more examples here. They faced challenges together, the political and health issues for her husband, and then equal partnership. Like, you know, when she had this thing, like she was the first lady here in America to be involved in policy matters, and she even sit on cabinet meetings, and that affected other first ladies. So do you have it? Well, I'm still on this point. Do you have anything that that Mrs. Semakula did, and she was the first person to do it? I remember when at the funeral they were talking about her impact at the hospital where she worked. I think she was the longest serving. There was something that she was the first to do. I think longest serving. We can put that for Mrs. Semakula. But for Carter, she was the first lady to start involving herself in the policy matters and sit on cabinets. In fact, she was the first lady, if I'm not mistaken, who went in front of Congress. Because of she was talking about mental health. She was the first one to testify in front of Congress. So when you keep saying fast, those things are very important, especially when you think about the older times. We're talking about ladies from an older times, not right now. Now women are doing so many things, but these were women who are doing things that had never been done. Okay, they first challenge together. Yeah, great team. Yeah, so that's good. So let's see. I said here, first lady. Yeah, I want to move faster because I have many points here. How about an example? Okay, so longest serving staff at Nakalema Hospital. Yeah, and died at her work. That's a first. Remember, this is the record. So these things we are saying, this video, if you save it somewhere, it's going to have this chart. So you can check it later. Okay, let's move on to something else. How about never giving up? The example I have for Rosalynn Carter, never giving up, her fight for mental health, because people used to be embarrassed when they're mentally ill. So she's the first person who's advocated for those people. They shouldn't be hiding. In fact, I was reading that she was the first person to say the insurance had to cover their sickness, to call mental health an illness. It was her who did that, and despite the stigma around the mental health, she kept going. So do you have examples of never giving up? Put in the chat if you have examples for Mrs. Jen Semakula. So She was criticized for talking about this mental health, mental illness, and she kept going. And then another example of never giving up for Mrs. Rosalynn Carter is she created what they called Rosalynn Carter Institute of Caregiving. And you know what she was doing there? She recognized the challenges faced by those who take care of others. That's why I started that center. And also when we're talking about never giving up, when they lost the elections, I think I mentioned that also, that I mentioned it already, that she created her own Camp David. She said, okay, if we can't have Camp David over there, let's create our own. So they were meeting people over there, they were doing their things over there. In fact, someone did a whole video about that place, the Camp David she created. They created. She was resilient in supporting community. Oh, I never heard of this one. Wait, someone just dropped something I've not heard before. Wait. From childhood, she wanted to be a nurse. Oh, that's good. That means she loved people. And she was supported by her parents to become what she became as a professional midwife. Yeah, I heard that being talked about. So that means from a young age, she knew that she wanted to help people, right? Someone put this, I never heard of this before. She was a resilient supporter of the Community Bank Project for Africa. I didn't know about that one. And also someone said she worked with teams on the Community Bank Project until the last week. What? I didn't know about that one. I think I missed it. I didn't know she worked with banks, also helping banks. That must have been a very smart lady. You know, someone mentioned that she was, I think we should have put that also. I don't know that about Rosalynn Carter, but I know that about Jane Semakula. They said that whenever they were collecting money, they made sure she kept it, which means she was an honest person. We didn't talk about that. Let me add it here. She was an honest person. Otherwise, people wouldn't give you their money if you are not honest, right? Okay, so a mental leader. I'm coming actually, I think, to that. So the mental leader. Now, I'm reading that from, when I read in the chat, that means it goes to Jane Semakula. Now, how about facing loss? Facing loss. Rosalynn Carter faced the loss of her father, and they said the loss of her dear friend. Her name was Lady Bird. Lady Bird Johnson was her friend, best friend, and died. So how about when we are talking about mother, Jane Semakula? I know a witness, she lost her mother, right? And her husband was sick at that time, and then her mother died. Remember that? Was it even during COVID when this happened? Miss Janet, remind me. I remember that was challenging because she was in the hospital taking care, I think, of her husband when her mother died. Is that what happened? Is that true? I don't want to be saying things that are not true. Was that true that she was taking care of her husband and then her mother died, right? Okay, when you get the answer, type it, I read it. I'm moving on because I have a few more points to cover. So she facing loss, we finished that. How about this one? Yeah, she lost of her grandmother. Well, yeah. I remember that was sad. It was very sad. She couldn't take care of her mother. She had to take care of her husband. That also goes to the point of being a dedicated wife, because another one could say, let me go with my mother, I believe you. But I mean, they choose which one to support, and they go with their mother. But she stayed with her husband, took care of her husband. And then around that time, her mother died, I remember. She was the treasurer for community and family. Yes, for many community and family projects. You know, when you're a treasurer, that means people trust you. How about an example of, I don't know if you have an example of this one, but let me ask you. Example of doing something that only men did at that time. Something she did, but only men did at that time. Do you have an example? For the First Lady, the active involvement in policy, like getting herself on the table, cabinet, like to talk or to discuss policy, that was the first. Because they say that First Ladies used to be focused on ceremonial duties. That's what used to be for the First Lady. She was the first one to take charge also. Okay? And maybe later it helped Hillary Clinton, because they say Hillary Clinton was also very active, but maybe this one had started that. Yeah, getting to policy, like changing policies in America. Yeah, she lost her mother. Yeah, yeah. So are we done with this one? Oh, Bishop Patrick Musoko, welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. She was very passionate about her work. Yeah, thank you, sir. You're welcome. We missed all of you. We waited, but then we started. Anything you know about her as I'm speaking here, please type in the chat. I'll read it. Just to know that this is the record. This record stays on YouTube as long as this video is up there. She championed expansion of Namgona Hospital. I heard about that one. Yeah. And also at this point, you can also talk about, in the church, they were talking about how she wrote about the hospital. They were asking her, because she was longest serving, to write about the hospital, and they kept writing, and she was asking them, change that a little bit, change that. Someone was telling a story. And compared to, if you left that to me, Carter creating a record, I think I read somewhere that she wrote 5 books and 2 memoirs. That was Carter. In fact, the books, I saw that some of them, the titles, are actually about mental health. You can go research and find out. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So can we continue on that one? Yeah, she had great leadership. When did she do that? I like examples. What did she do to show she's a leader? But I moved that from that. I think I did I cover leadership already? Right now on the example of doing something only men did at that time. You know, those are important things. For me, I know things I did when only men did those. Yeah, I did some things myself. Maybe I have to write a book. I have to tell people, because, you know, we lived in boarding schools too much that some of our lives are not known. People don't know about our lives unless you write it yourself. No one knew that happened, right? I was also used to be a cashier a lot. I was always the one keeping the money. Okay, let's see. She championed expansion. I read that already. A strong leader. She could lead men in the family meetings. Really? And whenever she spoke, people could agree. Ooh, that's a new one. I didn't know that one. Okay, so that compares to this one who was in the White House also doing the same, right? She looked after all her siblings up to the marriage. Yeah, really? Wow. God bless her. Okay, moving on to the bigger thing, I think, for both. Impacting people's health. Impacting people's health. And you know, without health, you have nothing, right? As I'm doing this, please type yours. Let's go with local health first, because here, or you can do both. You can type both. But for this one, I'm starting with, she worked to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health, which I said already. She emphasized early intervention as far as mental health, so that people are diagnosed early to know that they are okay or they are not okay. And she supported the support for children with developmental disabilities. Okay, increase awareness and resources. Also, she established Rosalynn Carter Institute of Caregiving. So as she did that, this was helping people's health and their lives. But also, she talked about, I have a lot actually with her and her health, impact on health. She promoted the immunization of children, and she wanted it to be done at the right time. Do it at the right time. By the way, and also global health. We know with the global health, she did something that was very interesting. I think I wrote it. River blindness. Did you know that? She impacted river blindness. They were showing she looked after all her siblings up to their marriage. Okay, write something about her health. I know you're going to write a lot because she was a nurse, right? But when I'm talking about Rosalynn Carter, she impacted, so they were showing in when they were writing a story, no, it was a video about a story, that at that time, there were so many children leading older people with a stick. You know how someone holds a stick? This one holds in the back. I remember I saw that a long time ago. When someone holds on to the stick, and the boy or the girl, most of the boys, would hold the stick to guide the blind person. Now they realized that most of it was river blindness, they call it, and she worked on this a lot. In fact, they said they eradicated it in Americas, and then in Africa a lot. They're working on it, working on to reduce river blindness, because they realized that it's something that could be prevented, it's something can be healed. That was one of the things she did. And actually, she did so many things. I don't think we can even finish whatever she did. She did a lot of things. What are we talking about with mom, and how come no one is talking about health? Because I remember they were saying that at the hospital, they retired her, but she left her there because of, they left her because of immunizing children. And someone was telling a story how when there was a day for immunizing children, and people would line up with their children, right? And her line was so long. So people were asking, how come you always want to go to this line? They said because her, that the injection that didn't hurt, like when the way she did it, injected it, it didn't hurt. So that people would line up in her line, and this was immunization. And okay, she promoted immunization, and many mothers wanted their babies to be immunized. Yeah, they were telling that story at her funeral, that her it didn't hurt. Is that true though? Is that true that some hurt, some don't? How about the community? Let's talk about that. How Mrs. Jane Semakula impacted her community as far as the babies and the mothers and all that. Can we do that? And also if someone can type something about wives, because I was surprised. In the church, people were coming, wives, they call them wife groups. I don't remember the name they were calling them, but these were groups of married women. The impact of that, because if you create such groups, I think that's the thing we could copy over here. If people belong to a group and they're all married, maybe they get a chance to discuss the issue they're having instead of making a decision alone, because there's no marriage without issues. The issues will always be there. But some issues, someone can say, okay, that's how I dealt with that. Or you support someone when they are like something happens, maybe a man did something and she's thinking of even leaving. Others could say, oh, you know what? Handle it like that. Let me say something about marriage while we're on this topic. Maybe a young person will benefit from it. There is no marriage without issues. But what happens, especially if your man likes to look at other girls or something, do you know one thing I've known for sure, I've seen for sure, because I'm older, I'm 56, they always come back. So don't rush it. They always come back. There's something that happened to them, like somewhere maybe midlife crisis or whatever, but they always come back. I mean, all of them, almost all of them, they come back. Because guess what? They get older. They get older, they change. All that energy they had or looking at other women, all that, now it doesn't matter anymore. So be patient. That's me saying that now, because I've seen it. They go, and then finally they settle. And for men who like to go, you're going to regret it. You're going to lose this wife, the one you got earlier, the patience, when you are running around. Those new ones are not going to be patient with you, because this old one, you have this history together. You have this history together that keeps you together. Even if you have a hardship, you know you have this person you've known since they were 19, 20, or whatever. You know what I mean? You go through it together. But the one you get when you're 40, 45, they don't have the patience, and you tend to like those young ones. They move on. Now you're sick in the hospital. They don't do that. They leave you in the hospital. I'm telling you. There was a case of Larry King. You know Larry King live? Sorry to say this. It was public information. He was the one who married, was it 7 wives? He said, for me, if I liked, they were interviewing him, saying, how come you keep marrying all the time? He said, for me, if I like her, I marry her. You see? So he ended up marrying 7. But you know what happened with the latest one he had? In fact, I think he divorced her when he was about to die, because the last time she thought he was dying and he didn't die. She had started doing some things. In fact, the son The son, one of the sons she had had much later in life with Larry King, is the one who told the dad. He said, you know what, mom is doing this and doing that. I think she was forced to divorce him. You can check this out, but I was following the story. So because she was much younger and thinking of things, she's here with a very old man. No, she may be attracted to you because of maybe you have money. Now, when you don't have money anymore, she's gone. Sorry, that was the by the way. It shows that please be patient in your marriages. As long as they loved you before, they'll come back. Don't worry. Be patient. It's a phase. Does that make sense to anyone? Yeah. Look at that comment. I need to pin this one. The one from Matt. I think I saw it. Another person had put it earlier. That Semakula was such an angel in human skin. I think that's true. Let me pin this one because I had pinned another one. I'm going to pin this one because that's true. Wait, just a second. She was so special. So I have to replace the pinned image. I'm pinning this one. So people who come, they see what we are discussing, but someone had already said it. Okay, I don't know how she did it. Being in the Zambia hospital as my mother, her sister-in-law passed on. Yes, she was a Namungona nurse. She was so accepted in other nursing communities. Oh, so she went to Zambia hospital while she was from another hospital. I don't understand that. Are you still here? Can you explain that, please? Robert Segawa, what is that? You said she worked in another hospital when she was, if you're still here, please explain that. It would be nice to know. What happened? She took on nursing a huge family, all the extended large family for her sisters-in-law. Yeah. Yep. This is like, that summed it up. An angel. You know, because you wonder, like Mrs. Carter here, if she grew up in a village, right? Okay, rural area. She was just a small town girl. And okay, she married this young man also. How did she come to think like that? Think global. Not everyone is doing the same thing. We have 7 other first ladies, right? Not everyone is doing those other things. I think some people are born with this. What do you think? For her, she was lucky to get a man like that. Also a man who cared about those kind of things. In fact, today I was watching her. She said that Carter exposed her to these things she never thought about because they were traveling the whole world, but they were always together. Remember that we can't minimize the effect of building homes. They built homes for people. I just told you that right here, about 8 minutes from where I live, there is a lady. She had 4 children, okay, with her husband, and they built a home for them, the Habitat for Humanity home. I know someone who benefited from that. That's so special. But I don't know where that comes from. Some people have it. So if you don't have it, you have a little, someone used to say, it's funny. He meant that he has very little love in his heart. So he would say that his love is too little, that's too small. So if you have a small too of care in you, please try this. The points I gave earlier, some of you joined later, try doing this. Try volunteering. Try getting out and see poor communities and see, you may think, oh, me, I'm poor, what can I do? Do you know that taking off a shirt, your shirt, maybe you have a shirt, you have 2, giving out 1 to someone who doesn't have a shirt, it's not an impact. You don't have to be rich to impact other people. And you know what happens also? As you do that, God blesses you with more. So let's try to learn from these 2 ladies, to be selfless, to think about other people. Okay, don't ignore your own family, but think about the other people too. Okay, let me see what you have. Is there any more comments? Okay, so I was on, because I didn't get good answers on humble, being a humble person, and on also being a loving wife. I wish we had the husband to tell someone to tap here to chat. How did she show the patience that I was talking about? Someone, I wish the husband was here. Do we have Mr. Lawrence around? Because if Mr. Lawrence, from him, he could testify here how she was a patient wife, a loving wife, it would be great. But even if he's not the one typing it, if Matt could type it for, and we know it's a message from Mr. Lawrence, from Mr. Semakula. Lawrence, could you please do that? Ask him how she was a patient, especially the loving is easy. You can love someone. but the patience. How was she patient? How was she enduring? That's the right word, right? Enduring in the marriage. If you could get an answer from Mr. Semakula, please, and type it in here. You know, this is a witness. We are creating this video that we can check later and later and later to still be here. Okay? Hopefully, if my channel is still here, it will be here. So start off by noticing who has less than you. You know, at most of the point, you have more than another person. Do you know why? Because you could be homeless, right? You are homeless. Now you are there saying, I'm homeless, I have nothing, right? But guess what? You are better off. Maybe you have your whole body is normal. You have your eyes, you have your legs, you have hands, you have all that. You are grateful for that. How about you start watching out for people who don't have those things that you have? Okay, because homelessness is temporary. You could wake up from homelessness and go create a big company, big something. Okay, so let's try to notice the people that have less than us. And even those who have more than us, not necessarily things, but you could have the knowledge. For example, you could have knowledge, and someone could be there having a lot of money, but without the knowledge. You can share what you have. How about we create these partnerships? You help me, I help you. Okay, let's see what you have here. No, I think I read that already. We don't have any new comments. You don't have any new comments. I was going to read new comments. The humble part, I didn't get more of. I needed more humbleness. And do you know there was something else that Miss Carter did? Let me see here. Are you please use this chance to type some more things you want to type. Remember, I told you this is a record. A record we are creating. We are creating a record. We are creating a record that you can refer to later. So let's use this chance for people. Let me see. Being in a marriage for more than 50 years is not a joking subject. You have to be patient. Yeah. You have to go through all those stages as they're becoming wild. You know, I think men become more wild than women. Is that true? Is that true, man? Tell us. Oh, he's here? He's here? Mr. Lawrence, we have you here? Oh my God. I didn't know you could come in my chat. You are so much welcome, Mr. Semakula. And I'm so sorry for your loss. You lost, and you know, you were not the only one who lost. Like we saw the funeral. I watched the funeral. I watched it. I was on Zoom, and I saw the whole world. I saw, you wonder, so how did she impact those people? I don't think she also knew how she impacted all these people. I wish, do people see their funerals? Do they see? Who can tell us? Do they see? Oh, I didn't know he was here. Please, tell something about patience. How can you, maybe you don't want it to be on record, but if you don't mind, share one incident when she showed you she should have left you and she didn't. Do you want to do that? I don't know, I'm putting you on the spot. Could you share one time when you know she was fed up with me really, but she chose to stay? Do you have a moment like that? Can you declare it here? Yeah, can you tell us? Let me give that a moment. Let me see. She was more humble than any person I have known. Yes, she was. And you know, Mr. Lawrence, since I got to talk to you here, I didn't know I would have that chance. You have that in the daughter too. You have that in Janet. If you didn't know, I'll be the one to declare it. You have another one. It's like they're like sisters. Okay, the other was the mother, but she behaving the same way. So I think, Janet, what needs to happen for you is get out more in the community. But now you're a teacher too. So you're impacting children, get out even more. And I think we could bring you here online. You join me here on YouTube. We can, because when you are here, you are impacting the whole world. Like here, my video is going to be watched by the whole world. Janet, what do you think? Let's do it the new way, the internet way, the global way. Okay, let me see. Do you have anything you want to say, Mr. Lawrence? I want to give you a chance. Type what you want to say. Anyone else, what you want to say? Before I get into my motivation, I can get into my own motivation. Please say anything you want at this point about Mrs. Janet Semakula. Remember the points I covered for some of you who came later? I talked about, but I waited for you until we started before you. I got back to the points I started with. You can put anything you want. I'll read what I can, okay? We talked about her childhood, the humble childhood. We didn't know where she grew up, so we didn't really say what. We don't know. If she did any farming in her childhood, we don't know. We talked about the humbleness. We talked about being a loving wife. We talked about never giving up. We talked about facing loss. We talked about something she did that men didn't do at that time. That she did, but men didn't do at that time. Only women did it, but men didn't do it at that time. And then we talked about her impact on health, her impact on children, okay, the community, her impact on, yeah, let me see. Mrs. Jane Semakula. What did I say? I called her wrong because I called Miss, okay, Mrs. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Mrs. Jane Semakula. I think you should say her middle name to Nachi Yinji, right? Mrs. Jane Semakula. I apologize that I didn't, even here I should be saying, you know, Americans, they drop the titles. They drop the titles. So I say Rosalynn Carter, but actually she's Mrs. also. And Mrs. Jane Semakula. Sorry about that. Thank you. Let's see. I'm reading now. Okay. My Uncle Rollins is called Maswe. Maswe, a super smart wild card and a very handsome man. A humble Jane. I'm laughing. I'm going to read this. A humble Jane, keeping him for 50 years was a big job. Trust me, I think so too. But she was also beautiful. Oh my goodness. She looks so great also. So let me read it again. My uncle was a super smart wild card. So I had to put like a big cage around him. Mama was extremely patient. She believed that someone could always change, even if it took donkey years. Yeah, I'm learning that. So this message is for those of you who are still younger. Just know, number one, they are forced to change. Do you agree? The one who put the comments, the wild card, they are forced to change because they get they start losing the strength. The wildness. Is he still wild? That made me laugh. Is he still wild? Okay, by the way, you type anything you want. Remember I told you this is going to be a record. It stays here. As long as my channel stays, it stays. And you can also, yeah, you can always watch it. Let me see. Mom, extremely patient. Who else has something to say? How about the grandkids? What do you have to say? We don't have any testimony from grandchildren. How about friends? Do we have a friend? Abrahman, talk to us about, okay, talk to us through typing, about mother-in-law as a friend. Because that's rare. It's rare to find a mother-in-law who's a friend too. Because they tend to be not friends, actually. They tend to be harassing their son-in-laws. But this one was good to you. Was like a mother, a friend. How about you talk to us about that? Okay, let me see someone here. Naba Fauzia. Mommy's influence touched not just my life, but also the lives of my sisters, whom she raised with such grace and wisdom. Yes, and I've never known anyone quite like her, and I'm grateful for the indelible mark she left on all of us. May her memory continue. Yeah. Keeping handsome men all the time is not a joke. I guess handsome men. But you know, these days, it's not about handsome, actually. These days, it's about the muscle. Do you know that? That beauty has changed, even with women. It's not about the face. It's about the structure. It's about you show up. Like you have to work out and have the muscle. And they're putting in the chat that keeping handsome men is hard. But if they're handsome these days, and they're not taking care of their body, like they don't have the muscle, actually, they're not handsome anymore. The face is not enough. You need to, now this is a message for men. You have to run and lift the weight and have the muscle, right? That's when you're going to get the men. They're going to fight for you. Let me see. Someone put something. Gotta go now. It was nice being here. Talking about a beautiful soul. Yeah. Nice having you. Thank you so much. Nice having you. For us, we chat forever. When you get tired, you ask me to lock it up. You know, when I close it, it ends. We don't have it open anymore. Thank you so much, Robert. Connect. Let me show you how you connect with me. How do you connect with me now? In the chat, I can just say, if you go on social media, I'm Sherifa Nakalema. I think it's easier because even this channel is Sherifa Nakalema, Facebook, Sherifa Nakalema, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Those of you who want to learn how to work from home, make money online, that's what I do. Although today we didn't get into that. Today we are respectfully talking about these ladies. And this would go in the category of me talking of motivating people, taking a step to make your life better, creating an impact, leaving a legacy. Don't be like, even a snail could be better than you. I recorded at least 3 videos about that. You know that song from the Saint Dembe, was it? Monseno koze muchi akuwencho divamo mulumanyolo obakulya buli kunywa bunyi. Yeah, mulumanyolo. Yeah, they were talking about a snail. The snail, as it moves slowly but surely, it leaves a trail. So let's leave trails, please. Let's leave trails. She was a great friend, our family doctor who loved me unconditionally. Yeah, he loved you. She loved you with my human deficiencies. Yes, she did. I know she did. We felt the love. Okay, Robert Segawa, cool. Subscribe. Let's starting this. What do you say? Subscribe. Just starting this. Where are you? Where are you, Robert? Robert Segawa, where are you? Actually, subscribing doesn't mean connecting with me. Subscribing, you're connecting with the channel. But maybe you see me more. But when you connect, it means you sent a message or something. I can't sing well, no. I can't sing well. The voice is messed up. We've been having this low vibration. You know, we are not in high vibration. Maybe starting today, let's do this. And starting with you, Janet, this message is for you. Whenever you think about mom, when that sadness comes, all of you who lost, including Mr. Semakula, everyone, whenever you think about mom, you think about what we're saying today, how inspiring she was. So you go out and do something she would have loved to do. Do it on her behalf. You say, you know what? Today I'm feeling very sad about mom, but mom used to love children. Go out and help children. Today, mom, and we know for us, we are Muslims, we believe that the children can do things that benefit their mothers, their parents, directly. It's like they did it. When you do something for your parent, it's like you did it. It's God who said that. So when you have some who feel like you want to support Mrs. Jen Semakula's soul, send something to Janet, send something to the children. When the children do it, it has more impact than than us doing it. So let's do something for our mother. And when you feel sad, Janet, I'm on vibration now. To get you out of that, think of the good things she did and hopefully feel a little bit better. Okay? Let's see. Haribala Hajat, you're a good singer. No, I'm not a good singer. She's been a God-fearing lady who has been always reading the word of God. She has groomed us in fact, I was going to do that at the end. I was going to talk about God, the God part last, as I close this. Yes, I hear when she was praying, it was interesting at the funeral to know that she was actually a Protestant before she married you. So you made her change into a Catholic, but it seems she respected all religions and she knew the one God. That's the one God we all praise, right? We all, what's the word? Our creator. They all bend to Abraham, put the right words. The God that we all know, the one God. She knew the one God because she prayed everywhere. Wherever there was a gathering of people praying, she would participate. She didn't say, I'm not going to participate because these are Catholic, she was a Catholic, that these are Protestants or these are Muslims. She was always praying. Let me see. She's been a God, worship. Okay, yes, she gave me the right word. We all worship the one God, and she knew the one God. So we pray that the one God recognizes all her good works, and we pray that the children remember their mother, because they are the only ones now who can do it. You do it better than the husband. because that's what God said, is only your children can do something for you. So if you say today I'm donating on my mother's behalf, it goes on her record. If you say today, because we had a similar situation, some of you knew my sister who died, Hajat Fatuma, suddenly, or not suddenly, but she had a stroke suddenly, and then she died 6 months later. The children did a lot of work, and I think I'm a witness because, she would come in my dreams when she's happy and when she's sad. I could feel it. I would say to the children, you know what? I think Hajat Fatuma is not happy now. Go do something. They'd run and donate, and then she'll come back a few days later smiling. So these are things. I know people don't believe in dreams, but I think the dreams, people could communicate in dreams, I think, because she would come sad and then she would come happy. So they keep donating, doing good jobs, and you being good people too, because a parent benefits from good children. When the children do good things, it actually means the parent did a good job. So, Janet, as you keep to be good children, your mother benefits, your dad benefits, the community benefits, everyone benefits. So let's do the way she was doing. Let me see. Is there anything new? Okay. Anyone wants to say some more, or you want me to close it? I want to talk about that part about God. We must, like I said, if you feel that you want to support, for me, I have a project in Uganda. We have a project, we have a school, and instead of going for donations from big people with big money, I said, you know what? Those rich people, they take all the blessings. When you say, oh, he has a lot of money, we are building, let's bring them. When you invite rich people, they are the ones benefiting. So I said, for me, I want our project to benefit people who don't have much. So we had to put the 6 classes on this school. The school, by the way, we pay for everything, except the parents pay for food. So what we do, when it's time for the roofing, I said, let's ask people who lost their parents first. That's the first list I had. People who lost their parents, please send iron sheet to your mom, send an iron sheet to your dad. So people were collecting 50,000, 50,000, 50,000 because we were remembering the dead. So that's a project. I start with the dead people, then I start with the living people, because we have to create a path for ourselves too. We have to do these good things too. So as you do for your mother, remember yourself too, okay? Okay, what do you want to say? Please continue adding what you were remembering. How I'm about to close this one. I think some of you is really late. It's 11 p.m. in Malaysia. You have to sleep. So continue to say anything you want to say. I want to hear more about Mr. Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence Semakula Sewo. To Wayo Kagambo. What did she, when was there a time when she was about to go because you are too handsome? You are too handsome. She said, you know what? I can't be here. He's too handsome. All the women are looking and looking. Well, did you have a time like that? She used to call here. She used to call you? Oh, that's nice. But why did you call yourself 10 cups of China and biscuits? It's too long for us. Too long. She called you every day? Really? Wow. She must have loved you so much. I'm so sorry you didn't get to meet her like some of you, the young ones, never saw her really physically. But hopefully we thank the people who invented the internet and invented the cell phones. They at least now, even if you're not with people physically, you can communicate and see each other. Otherwise, you would not have known her. So who wants to say some more? Please, I see more people in the chat, on the live. Please like the video. Let's see. We used to communicate with my mother twice a day. What? Oh my. I'm so sorry. So let's do this. Do you know Dr. Phil? Dr. Phil, he talks about, he's a psychologist from 1 to 1. He knows about people and how they behave. But he says to live like a habit, to live this habit, you have to start a new habit. So now that we had grandma calling you twice a day, how about you start an activity that you do in that time? When you used to talk to her, you do something to honor her, also to, like in memory kind of, but also to feel good, something that raises the vibration. Maybe you're going to sing. How about you create a song for her? Who is going to lead this one? Let me see. You people use names that confusing me. We have 10 cups of China. We have Ara. We have, let me see the other one. The people here. How come I don't see Salma? Salma, Who is the singer? Janet, who is the singer in the family? I want to give you an assignment. You go create a song. Sorry again for what? Mr. Mr. Lawrence, you're sorry for what? I'm asking the Malaysia family or all of you others to create a song. How about they don't call it create, they call it compose. Compose a song about grandma. Now, at that time, when she used to call you, to talk to you, how about we sing? We sing and dance for Jaja. And then pray too. We have to add the prayers too to help her soul, right? But help you feel good, okay? Who is going to be? Those are Malaysian girls. Yeah, I see they have these names I don't understand. Where is Salma? Where is Mariam? I don't see Mariam. Who is Mariam in these names? Mariam, you changed now. You are what? Say hello to grandma. Grandma is in the house. What do you want me to comment about? Oh, you are here. I was asking you to comment about, if you don't mind. Remember, this is a record. This video is a record. So when you put it here, you know it's out there. So I was asking that, is it okay for you to share a moment when Mrs. Jane Semakula felt like leaving you, but she didn't? You're too handsome. You're too handsome. She wanted to leave. Hora. Who's Hora? She's Hora now. Mariam. I don't see Mariam in this chat. So who's going to lead the song? Who is going to compose the song? Let's get two people. One to lead the prayers when it's time to pray for Jaja, to remind you that it's time to pray for Jaja. I'm talking about Malaysia now. And then the one who's going to design the song, compose the song, and please share when you're singing for Jaja, okay? You do put all the things. I never composed the song. I just know how to sing. I sang for you, right? Do compose the song and sing it. Share a video with me. I'll be asking you about that song. Who is going to be the leader? Mariam? Yes. So when you feel like missing mama, missing grandma, you just say, you know what? It's time to sing. You're going to sing and dance. Yes. And I don't know about souls and how they work. Maybe grandma is going to see you singing. I don't know. But I think for the younger ones, let's tell them that grandma is watching. Okay, Janet? Tell them that grandma is watching. Whenever we sing, grandma is watching. So dance really good, okay? We have to have the alto, the bass. Who's going to do the bass? Hamza? The bass and the soprano. And Abdurrahman is going to do... Send me the song, okay? Let me see. Vincent, you're welcome, Vincent. Mom Jane Semakula was a very special person, had a warm heart for everyone that came to our home. Yeah, I understand, even including strangers. But I wonder how Mr. Rollins felt about that. When you have a person who's too kind, sometimes it's too much for the spouse. How did he feel about this lady who was inviting everyone? Was it okay? Was it okay for you, or it was too much? Okay, by the way, when you feel like ending this, just let me know. Let's end it, because may I open it up for you here to say whatever you want, and we are creating a record. Because when you go to Zoom, only if you save it for yourself. But if you don't save, I don't know, do free account save? Abrahman, can you save on a free account on Zoom? Can you save things? Okay, continue writing. Me, I'm just commenting here. When you type it, I read it. So by the way, meanwhile, those of you who want to learn how to work from home from Uganda, come learn. I share how you do that. And there is not today I had to postpone something on every Sunday. I show here something. I interview people and they share how they are dealing with their lives and stuff. So I already have an interview that I was about to show today, but we postponed it because of this. So we're going to show you it another Sunday. So every Sunday, I have something going on here that's long. In the week, I have short things, but and I come live on Fridays, which is sometimes Saturday for you. Saturday morning. Think of it as Saturday morning for you because of time difference. I'm live the way I am now. But on Sunday, like today, we play a video that I recorded. So it's an interview. I already have an interview of a lady who had a nightmare trying to get a visa to America. So we already recorded it, but I think we're going to play it next Sunday. It will be a Sunday project. Please keep it here. Here's someone who wanted to come to America. Did she come? No, she didn't. But you want to hear the story. Okay? Maybe. Yes, you can record the video. What do you mean, Abrahman? She was also very pretty. And Abrahman, I recorded the video already. We decided we'll watch it next Sunday. It would have been for today, but it's okay. We'll watch it another day. You know, she just put a comment. You watch this. That my mom was also very pretty. And I think my dad sometimes could fear losing her. I think so too. She was pretty to the end. She was a pretty woman. Yes. I wonder why they were just talking about the husband. I think this was a pretty couple. It was always, let me see, there's a new comment. I remember Mama Jane, when I got an accident, almost my forehead opened up. Almost my forehead opened up. Almost seeing my brains. She really stitched me. And this helped me to stay in life. What? And I think, what? How old were you when that happened? Andrew just shared something. What? He had an accident. I'm confused. So what was she really doing in the hospital? What was her main thing she did? I thought she was she like a midwife or she was a general nurse? What was she? Because people are talking about delivering babies, that she delivered babies in the whole community, 90%, someone said all the babies were delivered by her. I said, what? That's a lot of babies. So let's hear this story. Andrew is telling a story how mom was the stitching those days. Was they doing cold turkey, like, or there was some numbing, or wow, she was really meant to care for people. Yeah. How old were you when that accident happened? You know, I wish I knew the relationships you have, or you had. I see Andrew. I see Vincent. Can you please introduce yourself so I know your relationship? Even the people who come later to watch this, they know the relationship to the deceased, because some of us are confused. We don't know. Like when I say Lawrence Semakula, that's Mr. Lawrence Semakula, that's the husband. So that's the widow. No, widower, right? English. Where is Mariam? Mariam, what do you say about grandma and Salma and all of you? Hamza, can Hamza type, or Hamza is not feeling well? I didn't see Hamza in here. Do we have Hamza? If we record the relationships, it would be nice to know Janet's daughter. Can you please put relationships to your names? So this is the record. People who come later, they will see it. If Janet, if you could put, she was my mother, or she was my auntie, or she was a son-in-law, like that. Could you please take a moment to do that, all of you? It will help the people who are reading the comments. The relationship. For me, she was a mother-in-law. She was the mother, I said this at the beginning, a mother to my brother's wife. But she was like a mother to all of us. So could you please go through that exercise as we close this one? Put the relationship so that the people who come to the chat, they know that this person was chatting. This was the relationship. Please. I bet this video could be watched 20 years later. You never know. Okay. She was my grandma, yes. 10 cups of China. You don't intend to change that name, really. When you get into social media and people have to remember 10 cups of China and biscuits. I think there's something, this is my observation. I think the children of today, their brains work very, very different. If you want to know, you go to TikTok. They're like a different kind, like from another world. I remember when I used to be here on YouTube and I see a TikToker leaving a comment, I would know that that's someone from TikTok, because they're different. Yes, so Ara, that's Mariam, right? That's Mariam. Please continue to put your relationships. It's going to help us in the future. Ara, is that Mariam? because I'm confused. The one who you really like it, it's okay. You like it, but when you come, if you came to me and once you wanted to ask me the branding, if you want to be remembered, I won't give you that name. Can you imagine having a website that says 10 cups of China and biscuits.com? Let's see. No, that's fine. Keep your name. But I just told you it's not good for business because people have to remember it and type it in Google. They have to remember to type 10 cups of China and biscuits.com. Okay, Hannah. How about Hannah? Hannah already gave us. Please, keep typing your relationships to Mrs. James Semakula. Please share this video. For those who want to hear what we're saying, we almost forgot about Rosalynn Carter, but Rosalynn Carter is very well known. But you know what's funny? All these things, some of the things I said about her here, I didn't find them in one video. I didn't find a video that was saying all those things. They were like doing bits. Oh, Dorothy, that's a new name. You just came, right? She was my mother-in-law. Thank you. Welcome, Miss Dorothy. I don't know how long you've been here. Please, I'm so sorry for your loss, but we have to celebrate her life. We have to be happy that we had her for that time. The only sad thing for me, I was saying this in Zoom, that she died suddenly. Because me, I would like to say something before I die, but then they said that she actually liked it, that she used to say that that's what she wanted. She didn't want her people to know that she's about to die, that she saw so much pain. People who watch their loved one die, it's better to just laugh. To just die, then they get their pain, but she didn't want to watch it. So I guess God answered her prayers. She was mother to not only her biological children, but to many. That's fine, sister. So that's fine, Janet. She can be a mother to many, but there are those she really gave birth to. You see what I mean? So for us, when you have a mother like that, you call them auntie. You wouldn't call them mother. Okay, mother, mama, but auntie. We'll say auntie because she really didn't give birth to you. So that would help. Or in the chat, if you say she was my auntie, that's better. My auntie, but I saw her as my mother. That will help. Now you are, yeah. Let me see. Okay, do you have more to say, or you want me to close this? We have another video. Like I said, we'll watch it next Sunday. During the week, I produce videos. The way I'm going now, if you are in USA, if you are in Canada, if you are in Australia, if you are in the European countries, the next video that are coming are going to be related to you, because I think I'm going to promote something called high ticket affiliate marketing. That means if you're really serious to do these kind of things and you are in those countries, but I think Malaysia is allowed too. Malaysia, UAE, those are allowed. In Africa, only South Africa. If you concentrated on those things, which I'm about to do, you can really quit your job. You can quit your job and work from home or work from where you are. The other ones, this is high ticket. That means when you promote things and get paid. But the high ticket, that means large amounts of money. So, but if you want to do the small, I'll still do that, but I won't focus on it. For now, this month of December, I want to encourage people to plan to work from home in 2024. Therefore, I'm going to be talking more about this high ticket thing. High ticket, encouraging people to work from home. It's beautiful, actually, working from home. Let me see what Abdurrahman is wrote. Thank you for initiating this conversation. It makes us feel better. Okay, you sleep. It's really late, 11:30. Okay, say bye to each other. Then I'll be saying bye last and I'll cut it off. Say bye to each other, please, in the chat. Say bye to each other. My message to you, please, try to create an impact where you are. Start small. And being on social media, I know some people don't believe in this social media stuff, but it impacts people. It impacts people. Like right now, I said, let me go talk about her. I can do it, right? But I had to work hard to make sure I can come live on YouTube. You can't come on live on YouTube if you don't have 1,000 subscribers. And thank you, Janet, for all the support. Yeah. Thank you. Let's pray for her. Let's remember her. And remember, Mariam, you are in charge of a team. What are we going to call it? What are we going to call this group? that's going to be singing for grandma. You never know. You may end up creating a real song. I mean, a real album singing about grandma and other things. You never know. We may find that you are really good at singing. You end up singing other things. You get paid even. But you know, I didn't understand this anesthesia. I thought the anesthesia that I have another anesthesia, you know. We have anesthesia in this community. But this one, who is behind this name? Who is here? Please, who is hiding behind anesthesia? Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night. Please plan. But the ones we do on, like the one I'm going to do next Sunday, we don't bring them at this time. We will bring them when it's, what time is that in your time? It's like 2 a.m. on Sunday. That's when I do the other ones. I'm going to bring the visa one. The visa one is for those who are thinking of coming to America. You have to watch it because, oh my goodness, she's sharing. The people are lying to you. People are lying to you. Please, please, please. You have to watch this one. That's Shaima. Shaima, and please, when you use anesthesia, confuse me because I have another anesthesia in this community. In fact, when I saw her yesterday, I thought she was the one. There was anesthesia, the one. Okay. Thank you all so much for participating. Please share this video. It will be here. I'm going to make it a video so people can watch it later. And we are thankful for the lives of both Mrs. Rosalynn Carter. And I didn't even tell you the name. She had her name. I think it was the Smith at the beginning before she got married. And also the life of Mrs. Jane Naking Semakula. And we pray that their souls rest in peace. But as far as I'm concerned, they did well. They lived life worth living. They did their very best. They impacted people, and their legacy lives on. Please, please, please pray for them. The children, mostly the ones who are going to help these people. The children impact their parents' souls the way the real people did it. So if Janet says today, what I'm doing today is for my mother, she gets it. Or a son, any other person. Rosalynn, I don't think the Rosalynn people are going to see this one, but if you do, your children, you can do things for your parents. That's according to my Islamic faith. God says that in the Quran, that when a person dies, only 4 things can help them. One of them is the children, but the other, the good things they did. Like, for example, this lady helped so many people in Habitat for Humanity have homes. So as long as they're still enjoying the home and Habitat for Humanity, she didn't start it, by the way. She supported it, but she didn't start it. Although there was something about her community, she supported policies that help people get homes. As people have these homes, as they live in those homes, she's still benefiting. Those are the works you do and live on, like building a school, building a hospital, planting a tree, those kind of things that people use after you are gone, you still benefit from those. So let's do more of those. Let's work every day, improving our own lives, but also thinking about the future, because we're not going to be alive forever. We're all going, and you don't know when it's going to happen. Tomorrow, one of us will be dead. So live every day like you're going to live forever. That means take a step, make your life better, make the money, do all those things, but also think about tomorrow like you're going tomorrow, even today. Okay? That's my message. Yeah. I'm so happy to see you here. Yeah. So thank you all so much for participating. Hopefully this made you a little bit better. Just know this is the record. It's going to be here, this video. If you can share it and save it somewhere, it will be there. What happens when you come to it later, you have to choose to see the chat. You have to choose. For me, in my savings, I'm going to show that people can see the chat later. So you just say, see live chat. Then you can see all these things will be typed here. Okay? Thank you so much. Mwami Semakula, sawa tujetunayo ku Zoom meeting. Scheduling Zoom meeting, nojja netukubuzaako mu Zoom meeting omwo. Tuyinza n'okuteekamu kuba Malaysia, tuyinza n'okuteekamu n'abalala bayagala. We can have a conversation on a Zoom meeting at a later date. Yeah. Mwebale nnyo bambi bwenna, mwebalire ddala. And katubasabire abakyala bano katonda abakwate bulungi abawe ebifo ebirungi mu njala kubanga bakola nnyo, they deserve it. Okay, byebyo Allah katonda byatwagaza okukola, right? Babikola, so katubasabire. And thank you all so much. Bye bye.